Hello everyone, back to tuning into today's part of the video. Going to have a look at the weather for the next 10-14 days. For today's final video, day 10 will take us to the 25th of December. Wow, wonder what day that could be. I don't know, do you? Anyway, we're going to get to 25th of December with this one, and we'll also be able to extend that beyond that with the excellent GFS and ECM Ensembles. Pretty much around a couple of weeks. We'll have a look at the CFS V2 for January at the end of the video. I should get on with that for you in a moment. Just to say that first, the video today was our 6 AM UK weather forecast, and we've also released GMA Friday, so please check out those two vids if you'd like to do that. Like, share, and subscribe, all of that good stuff on today's videos and content. And thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. We need to put on around 45 subscribers, that's all now, to get ourselves to 17.5k. So if you could give us a sub to your friends and family to subscribe, it would be amazing and incredible. We will thank you so much, everybody, for doing that for GavsWeatherVids. I've been having a nice day Christmas shopping. I've finished my Christmas shopping today, everybody. 10 days to go and I've got all my Christmas shopping done finally. So now I've just got to get it all wrapped up. That's the tricky bit, isn't it? The nice part's going out and buying all the gifts, and then the annoying part is fiddling about with sellotape and bits of wrapping paper and that. But anyway, I've had a nice day doing that, and then this evening I'm off to Northampton Cathedral. Actually, I'm off to Northampton Cathedral, and I'm going to be seeing the Rainbow's Christmas Charity Carol service. Now that could be very nice. If you remember, we did fundraising for Rainbows in May, on the 27th of May. Actually, did a fundraising live stream. We ran the fundraiser for a week or two during maybe raised £2,000 for Rainbows. They provide vital care and look after children with life-limiting and terminal conditions, children and young adults and their families as well. They provide care for the families of these very, very sick and poorly children and young adults, young people. They do an amazing job, and as I say, they've got a charity, a Christmas charity concert, carol service tonight at Northampton Cathedral on Bedford Road. It starts at 7 PM. So if anybody's from the Northampton area and would like to pop down, you've got to buy a ticket, £10 a ticket. Just check out Rainbows on Facebook and whatnot. You'll find the links, via the socials, and pop down and say hello. I'll be there. I'll be there from around 6:30, 7:15, something like that. So if anybody's around, but might recognise me, then just say hello, and we'll have a chat. Please like, share, subscribe on all today's videos and content. Thanks so much for doing that. Because of that, of course, there's not going to be a pub run live tonight, but the pub run live will be back next Friday, which will be very, very close to Christmas, won't it? Right, let's start off with the Arctic oscillation observed in the forecast chart. So the black line shows where we've been with the Arctic oscillation. The red line's up the end with GFS Ensembles are forecasting the Arctic oscillation to go. Remember, the AO is just an index that's reflecting the atmosphere. It doesn't drive anything in its own terms, just tells us what the atmosphere is doing. So currently the AO is very positive. We're going to go even more positive over the next few days. But as we go into the Christmas period and beyond, up toward the New Year, we do actually see the AO coming back down closer to neutral then. So not going negative, but it looks as though this very strongly positive phase of the AO might be running out of steam when we get to Christmas and between Christmas and the New Year. And that's probably going to be a signal for unsettled weather to continue, but perhaps a cooler variety, whereas this strong positivity of the AO, particularly combined with strong positivity of the NAO, that is likely to bring very mild conditions. So again, we see with the NAO observed in the forecast chart, but we are strongly positive with the NAO. GFS Ensembles keeping us in a strongly positive phase as well, but then we see the NAO coming back closer to neutral as we go to between Christmas and the New Year. Still on the positive side, but more sort of weakly positive, I suppose. So with both of the indexes still in positive territory, but reducing from strongly positive, I suspect that's an indication of weather to stay unsettled, Atlantic-driven, zonal, but that's a slightly cooler variety of unsettled weather between Christmas and the New Year. Central temperature is sitting at 4.8. That's 0.2 degrees above the 61 to 1990 average. That's my visual to yesterday, the 14th of December. That's going to start rocketing, I think, over the next few days. So I reckon by this time next week, that could be in the 6s. It'll be very interesting where that is in a week's time, but that might be up in the 6s somewhere. Right, these are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles. The next couple of weeks, we're looking at Coventry today. The red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Coventry. We're starting off a little bit above average with those upper air temperature, but they're all on the up. So by the time we get through to the end of the weekend and into early next week, we are very substantially above average. Where we see a drop back closer, excuse me, back closer to average. And then between Christmas and the New Year, we just have lots of scatter, really, in this period. So we've got cooler ensemble members down here, got milder ensemble members up there. I suspect what's going on there, though, rather than scatches, but it's zonal. So, you know, take the operational run as a great example for this. So the thick green line here, warm sector, cool sector, a warm sector and cool sector. Warm sector, probably cool sector there, and then back to warm sector again. So warmer and cooler sectors alternating with one another, but when you average it all out, actually it turns out that we're above average because we don't get cold nights. Precipitation wise, lots of dry weather to come over the weekend to early next week. Then it's turning unsettled as we run up towards the Christmas period and beyond it. Snow row looks like that, not much happening, been a big downgrade. Yesterday the snow spikes looked quite encouraging, didn't they? On Northampton and also for Birmingham, but been a bit of downgrade on that, so not much doing for snow between 21st and 23rd of December. Now, there are some snow spikes in there, though, so, you know, it might be a few flakes, but not much going on there, really. Temperature anomalies from the 15th to 23rd of December are milder than average. Precipitation anomalies from the 15th to 23rd of December are drier than normal. A little bit wetter today for the far northwest of Scotland. The latest Windflow Map from knowschool.net is bringing up those southwesterly winds again. An area of high pressure adjusts to our south. This area of high pressure will be taking over, dominating factor away from northwest Scotland through the weekend. Okay, let's start going through chart data then. This latest UK Met Euro run is looking for big night on Monday. High pressure south, low pressure to the north. Very mild southwesterly winds pushing up from the Azores. Into the early to middle part of next week, turns a little bit more changeable. Winds in from west, so slightly cooler, and some shower rain came through. But a little bit of a northerly Wednesday to Thursday next week could bring some colder air into Scotland, but that's very quickly replaced by milder westerly winds. Yet again, that's as far as we get to with the UK Met. Gets us 22nd of December next Friday. Icon midnight run again, high pressure south, low pressure north, bring up those very mild southwest winds on Monday. We keep it unsettled then, or we turn it unsettled through the middle part of next week, increasingly so actually, looking quite stormy by the end of next week, and colder with winds going into a northwesterly or even northerly direction, especially so in the northern half of the country. Looks like it'll be very short-lived, but it's more low pressure downstream that is bound to start turning wind back into the west again. And this is how the Icon 12 is looking, as I'm recording the video very late today. I can show you the Icon 12 again. We've got low pressure to the north, high pressure to the south on Monday, bringing up those southwesterly winds. Then we're into more changeable conditions through the middle part of next week. Not as much of a northwesterly to northerly with Icon 12, so it's backed off that idea, and it just keeps the wind generally from a relatively mild westerly direction. I haven't got the KMA up, so I'll tell you what, let's get that up for you. Hold on. There we go. Well, it's something to remember, isn't there? Right, KMA looking like this. This is a big night KMA run from South Korea. Again, on Monday got this very mild southwest wind pushing up from the Azores. Then we're into very changeable and quite windy conditions through the middle part of next week. Turns a bit colder as well later next week with those northwesterly winds getting into the north. Actually, the KMA pulls down a northerly when we get to the end of next week. This is Friday, 22nd of December, so cold from the north very briefly, and then by the 23rd, Saturday 23rd, winds are backing into a mild westerly again, and then that sets us up for generally a mild spell as we go from Christmas Eve into Christmas Day, and rain in the north, but probably not a dry weather down in the south, a mild Christmas there after that little cold snap from the KMA. This is how the GFS midnight run, talking again, high pressure south, low pressure to the north on Monday, all much through to the middle of next week, quite windy and relatively mild as well. Turn perhaps a little bit stormy up in the far north at the end of next week. Winds in from the west, so still pretty mild at that point. We tried to get a northerly going into the early part of Christmas weekend, but it doesn't come off, just affects far north of Scotland. Otherwise, we keep wind up from the southwest, but we do turn it increasingly unsettled. So Christmas Day looks like that, day 10, and again, 25th December, we're pushing up that mild southwesterly, so a mild or a very mild Christmas Day. Turns a little bit stormy maybe, just after that from Boxing Day to 27th, but a bit colder as well. Winds turning in from the northwest and a ridge of high pressure. Could settle things down, give us a couple of frosts towards the end of December for the mild westerly, southwest winds return for the new year. That's as far as we get to today with the GFS midnight run, and it gets us to New Year's Eve. The GFS V2 again with high pressure south, low pressure north scenario on Monday into the middle of next week. West northwest wind keeping it changeable and mild. We start turn the wind into more of a northwesterly to possibly northerly as we go into the early part of the Christmas weekend. So that's Christmas Eve, 6 a.m, and we are putting down a cold northerly wind. That could bring some snow showers into northern and eastern parts of the coast. See, by 10 cells ice firms in Scotland, minus 5 cells ice firm has cleared the south and gone into France. So that's a genuine push of cold air from the north there, from the 23rd to the 24th of December. It's very brief. By the time we get through into Christmas Day, the high pressure is collapsing and milder air and coming back in from the Atlantic. Of course, there's a transition with that, so that might be interesting if the cold air was to prove stubborn. Particularly for the north, there might be some temporary snow. But very quickly, mild air pushes through, so we've got rain spread across the country there on Christmas Day, introducing milder air. By the time we get to Boxing Day, then we're back into those mild westerlies. And then between Christmas and the New Year, we're looking like that. So high pressure building again, really, to the south. We're back into those mild or very mild southwesterly winds up to New Year's Eve. Might get some frost and fog over that ridge down in the south, but as we're seeing this weekend, probably that high pressure will end up over France. We'll all just be bathed in a very mild southwesterly. If you're enjoying the video, please do like, share, subscribe. It shows everyone for doing that. Why not drop a comment? Let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. And don't forget to tell friends about GavsWeatherVids. We thank everyone for doing that. We need to put on around 45 subscribers to get 17.5k. And we thank you so much, everyone. Okay, but GM, again, with high pressure south, low pressure north, and those very mild southwest winds on Monday into the middle of next week. Turns a little bit cooler, back to average sort of temperatures, a little bit above average temperatures. I suppose being exceptionally mild and a little bit changeable too. Northerly wind there at the end of next week with GM. So there's a bit of a hint of a slight cold snap perhaps coming back with some of the mild output for the end of next week. That is quite a cold northerly that we've got there. Again, it cut off very quickly. So as we go into 23rd of December and then to 24th to Christmas Eve, we're very quickly back into those mild southwesterlies again. The Atlantic just too strong, powerful to allow any northerly to last more than a few hours. That's Christmas Day with the GEM. And it looks mild or very mild, really. There's a weather system that will bring outbreaks of rain across the country as well. And then the ECM looks like that. Again, it's high pressure to the south, low pressure to the north on Monday, wafting up those exceptionally mild southwest winds. Things cool down a little bit through to the middle of next week. Winds turning into more of a west, northwesterly, showering in the north, mostly dry down in the south. Slight northwesterly tilt to the wind direction by the end of next week. Could bring some slightly colder air into the far north Scotland, but no real northerly from the ECM. The Azores high here, sitting to the west of Biscay, acting as a buffer to stop any sniff of a northerly. All of that northerly airstream is actually going into northern Europe, and so just keep it mild, really, right way through to Christmas Day. That is Christmas Day. Look away now if you want a cold Christmas. We're in a west-south westerly push, and there's probably outbreaks of rain as well coming in with that. So yet another mild Christmas with the ECM. Precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from tometeo.com looks like this. So some rain over the weekend in the far northwest Scotland, otherwise got dry weather to come. Then into the middle of next week, turn very wet down the south very briefly. And then we're into those cooler west-northwesterly winds, maybe some wintry showers into the north and west of Scotland as we get towards the end of next week. Otherwise, have more of a northerly, I have to say, for the end of next week. So we'll have to watch out for that. And then into Christmas, well, it's just really rain pushing across the country on a mild or a very mild southwesterly airstream. Means I'll be options on the table within the ECM Ensemble today for day 10. Gets us to the 25th of December, Christmas Day, from the Icelandic Met Office. 16 members of the ECM Ensembles have low pressure to the north, high pressure is down to south, winds coming in from mild westerly direction. 15, again, with low pressure to the north, high pressure to the south, winds from a mild west-southwesterly direction, that includes control and the operational. 12 have low pressure, though, to our east, high pressure pulls out into the Atlantic, winds go a little bit more northwest to south beach, so slightly cooler, but quite unsettled. And 8 with low pressure to the north, high pressure is to the south, and winds again coming up from a west-southwest direction. So the only option really that might be a bit cooler is this one, those 12. But if you put the 16 there together with 15 there and the 8 there, the vast majority option within the ECM ensembles is to be mild on Christmas Day. The only question is how settled or unsettled it will be. And then in 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. Gets us to the 30th of December, New Year's Eve. 27 members of the ECM ensembles, again with low pressure, driving in from off the Atlantic, looking unsettled, wet and windy. As we approach the New Year, 16, again with low pressure to the north, high pressure down towards France. That keeps the wind in from the west as well. A little bit drier from the south, but unsettled in the north. And then 8 with high pressure, just a little bit further away from us to our west, low pressure to the north. That might bring a slightly sort of northwesterly type airflow, but overall that's still going to be pretty mild. They're all options looking mild up to the new year there with the ECM ensembles. Right, CFS V2 finally for January. This is a little bit more interesting for cold weather fans. So, latest 700 millibar height anomaly looks like this. Remember, these do change daily, but the latest has high pressure up towards Greenland and Iceland. Low pressure is across northern and also into Western Europe. You will think that's going to get wind into a colder northeasterly there, but CFS has moved a lot with these monthlies to where it was about a week ago, when it was very much set for like mild west-southwesterlies. Possibly going to raise the pressure a little bit more towards Greenland. Got to get the orange colour to go red there quite, more widely over Greenland. But that is very close to a cold January. There would be CFS. Consequently, the temperature anomaly is only predicted to be average or has no signal. Most of Scandinavia and the Nordic regions are coming out colder than normal, and precipitation, not much of a signal, but it is wetter than average to our south and drier than average way to the north up towards Greenland. That could be a signal for a negative AO-NAO type combination. So the CFS is moving a little bit into a colder direction as we look toward January. But of course, these charts change on a daily basis, so tomorrow might look completely different. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, we're done. If you've enjoyed the video, please do like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much, everyone, for doing that. Why not drop a comment and let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. And don't forget to tell friends about GavsWeatherVids. We thank you so much, everyone, for doing that. As I say, 45 subscribers is all we need now to get us out to 17.5k. So if you could give us a sub, and that would be amazing. Thank you so much. Right, I've just told what's coming up at GavsWeatherVids over weekends. So as I say, no pub run live tonight. So not going to be a Friday night live stream, but tomorrow we're going to have 6 AM UK weather forecast, have a weekend forecast, the EC42 day for the UK and Ireland, and there'll be a 10 to 14 day update too. And then on Sunday, we've got 6 AM UK weather forecast, have a 10 to 14 day, and we will be live at 6 PM on Sunday with Ensembles Watch. We'll go through the 12s there, and I'm sure we'll have some long range to include in that one as well. That will be the final, I think, the final regular Sunday live stream of the year as well, by the way. So the Sunday after that is going to be Christmas Eve, where we will do a very late live stream from Christmas Eve into Christmas Day. That's going to be nice. And then the week after that is New Year's Eve, and I won't be live streaming on New Year's Eve this year. As I never do. Right, okay, so that's the plan anyway for the weekend. You enjoy the rest of your Friday. I'm off to the lovely Rainbow's Christmas Carol service at Northampton Cathedral. So, again, as I say, if anybody's around Northampton Cathedral wants to come to that service, then drop in. And if you notice me, say hello, and I'll say hello back. I'll see you all tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your Friday night. And for this one, that's all for now. And thanks so much.